This is a Main Hustle Media podcast.
Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Jackie O and you're listening to Militantly Mixed.
Yo, this is Rashani from the Single Simulcast. And when I'm not making you laugh or making up parody songs, I'm kicking back, listening to Militantly Mixed.
Konnichiwa, what's up, cousins? Welcome to Militantly Mixed, the podcast about race and identity from the mixed race perspective. I am your Sir Auntie, Charmaine Fury, and on this episode, I'm bringing back a cousin to the show, someone that was a guest on the show about 3 years ago, I think, maybe 2. Alex Chester Iwata. She is the founder of Mixed Asian Media and the creator of Mixed Asian Day, which is what we are going to be celebrating together on September 13th in San Francisco, California, in Japantown, Nihon Machi. This event is the 3rd annual Mixed Asian Day put on by Mixed Asian Media. The first one was in New York, the second one was in LA, and the third one will be taking place in San Francisco. So it is a rotating event. It will go to other cities in the hopes that one day you'll have access to it if you can't readily get yourself to the one this year. Hopefully it'll be in your region in one of these future days. But if you're anywhere near the Bay Area of California, if you can drive up or down from or west from other places, I'm going to say the same thing I said about the Free to Be Fest a few weeks back. There's so few opportunities, even though these are kind of back to back, there's so few opportunities for us to be able to meet in meet space and physically share community with other mixed people. And while Free to Be Fest was a more general mixedness where, you know, it was geared towards all mixed folks, this one is about mixed Asians. And there is something very specific to that kind of mix that can be celebrated at an event like this. I will be moderating a panel at that event, so I will be in attendance, and I'm really looking forward to that for a couple reasons. One, to finally be physically at a Mixed Asian Day, because I wasn't able to attend the last 2, but also because this Japantown, Nihon Machi, is my Japantown. Nihon Machi. This is the one I grew up going to as a child with my Japanese side of the family. It's just such a Japanese space, and it's one of the few remaining Japantowns in the United States. There's technically only 3 still in operation: San Francisco, LA, and San Jose. I'm excited to go because personally it's very special to me, a very special place. But to be able to speak from the mixed Asian perspective in Japantown, Nihon Machi is how you say it in Japanese. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Like, that'll feel like coming home for me in a way. So I'm really looking forward to it. The best way to get information about the Mixed Asian Day is to go to mixedasianmedia.com, and you'll be able to get all the information there. They are asking that people RSVP for what panels they would like to attend, and it is a free event, but the reason why they need RSVPs is because there is a fire capacity. So they want to make sure that you can be there, but not exceed, that we won't exceed capacity in those spaces. So if you can get a chance and you know you're coming, please head over to mixedasianmedia.com and RSVP for the panels you would like to attend. And again, I'm going to be moderating a panel. So if you would like to see me in meet space, meet me in person, I'm going to be there. So come on down. Yeah. I'm going to switch it on over to my conversation with Alex in a moment. I think I'm going to be able to do a short intro today. I'm really proud of myself. I've been getting a little bit better at keeping time, and I don't have that much more to say until I turn it on over to me and Alex's conversation. But I am just days away from starting school, like I mentioned last week or the week before. I don't remember when I mentioned it. And I am looking forward and excited about that. I do have roughly 4 episodes over the next couple weeks planned that I think I will be able to execute on. After that, I don't 100% know if I'm going to keep the once a month schedule, the once every other week schedule, or every week. I'm going to do my best to be as consistent as possible, but really not knowing but anticipating a very heavy reading period in my life. I just don't know what my recording and editing schedule is going to be yet. So for those of you that are still heading on over to militantlymix.com and putting your name in the Be a Guest of the Show list, that wait list still exists. It's still very long because I did take that 1.5 year hiatus. But I'm going to do my best to try to get through as many of those conversations as I can in future. So that you can be a guest on the show. And I know that's a really anticlimactic thing when you find the show and you're excited about a mixed race podcast and you want to be a guest on it. But the problem is that there aren't enough across all of podcasting. There are many more mixed podcasts now than when I began. I was the only one. But for all the people who want to talk about their mixedness on a podcast, there's just not enough to get you all. So that's why I have a waiting list that's like 2.5 years old at this point. I'll do my best. I promise. I will try to get through it. But I think that's really all I have to say for this episode. So I'm going to let the conversation with Alex and myself speak for itself. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming back our cousin, Alex Chester Iwata from Mixed Asian Media. Psych. I do have one more thing to say. I keep mentioning over the last couple of weeks our Speak Pipe page, and that's because I would like to encourage people to leave voicemails for the show if you can. You can head on over to speakpipe.com/militantlymix. And this week, I would like people to call in or record a message talking about the importance of affinity spaces or affinity events like the Free to Be Fest or Mixed Asian Day or whichever mixed event that you are aware of or a fantasy one. So this week, if you're listening to the show, please head on over to speakpipe.com/militantlymix. It's also in the show notes. And leave me a voicemail about the importance of having mixed-based affinity events and or spaces. Okay. Now, without further ado, so one ado, no more ados. Now, please help me welcome back Alex Chester Iwata from Mixed Asian Media. I am joined by a already existing cousin because you've already been on the show before, Alex Chester Iwata from Mixed Asian Media, and we're going to be talking about a special event that's coming up in September in San Francisco. Hi, Alex.
Hi, I'm so happy to be back.
Why don't you reintroduce yourself to folks, because there might be some folks that weren't here last time, and tell everybody about yourself and about Mixed Asian Media.
Sure. So my name is Alex. I run Mixed Asian Media. We are a website and community for Mixed Asian Pacific Islanders. And we also try to include in the Asian adoptee narrative as well, because there's just so much intersection there.
I kind of feel like transracial adoptees are mixed.
Truly.
It's a different thing, but it's the same thing.
It is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we do everything from op-ed pieces around the mixed experience to a lot of celebrity interviews. A lot of celebrity interviews. And then we also started hosting Mixed Asian Day each year, and we're in our 3rd year, and it's going to be in San Francisco.
Yay. I'm excited about where it's at, because I told you this when you mentioned it to me, that Japantown in San Francisco is my Japantown. It's where my Japanese-ness was really formed, because it's where my grandmother, my bachan, used to take me pretty much every month of my young childhood. Like our family restaurant, it's closed now, Iroha. My mom used to go there when she was a little girl. I went there when I was little, and now it closed when I was an adult.
Oh.
But like that's my space, and so I'm really excited that we're gonna be there in San Francisco in my Japantown.
Me too.
I've never lived there, I claim it. It's mine.
It's yours. And it's such a wonderful, wonderful community. I have to say, we've been so warmly welcomed by co-host Creative Hub and the Japan malls there. It's
Yeah.
just, I couldn't have asked for a better venue and
Yeah.
space for the day.
That's awesome. I've never been to that specific space that you have it set up for, the Coho Creative, but definitely the mall. Pretty much my whole childhood has been in that mall. And what used to be the Miyako Hotel is where we always go to the bathroom during Cherry Blossom, because it's right there on the corner of the entry. You can always go to the bathroom there, and you can park under there too. Makes it easier if you're gonna go there. So I'm excited that we're doing this. But so this is the third year of Mixed Asian Media. The first year, I kind of remember I was in Mexico at the time, so I sent a video. I remember for
Yes,
the social
you
media.
did.
But there was like a New York event and a DC event.
No, we haven't. We have not done a DC event. We've talked about doing a DC event, and I've had a friend who really is pushing for a DC event, but we shall see.
Maybe in 3 more years.
I'm a little nervous. I did say yes, and now I'm kind of regretting it. Sorry, Luke.
I actually had to cancel. I made a mistake of buying tickets to a play that was happening in what I thought was Seattle, because the email came through and I saw Seattle first, but it was the email above, not the email below. And so I bought tickets to this Shakespeare play, and then I found out it was in DC. So I was like, oh shit, I guess I have to go to DC, because that's the way my brain works. Instead of canceling or try to something else, bought tickets, bought airplane tickets, got a hotel, and then the whole parade thing with the tanks happened. So I was like, yeah, no. So I went ahead and canceled that trip, and luckily the Seattle or the Shakespeare Theater Company in DC let me cancel my ticket. So yeah, not going there right now.
No, we're just gonna avoid that right now.
Just wait, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Everything's
Where
fine.
was it last year?
Last year was in Los Angeles at Little Tokyo at the Terasaki Budokan, and that was really cool. We had a huge space and vendors, and we partnered with Co-Market for the pop-up marketplace, and then had panels, and then a comedy night at Intercrew, and a DJ, and Dylan Adler performed, and a couple of his friends performed as well, and it was really fun. This year is a little more family friendly.
Okay.
No alcohol. AKA we didn't want to pay for the license.
Fair.
And instead of a comedy night, we're going to be doing hopefully a like boba tea sabotage mixer. So we'll have those card games, and I'm hoping to get a boba tea sponsor. If not, I'll probably just get us boba tea.
One way or the other, there's going to be
one way or other. There'll be boba tea. But if you'd like to
any
sponsor
San Francisco-based boba places, holler.
Please sponsor.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be doing a panel, and then you got a couple other panel things going on as well.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about why Mixed Asian Day happened.
So I feel like Mixed Asian Day happened because I was hearing a lot from the community that they didn't feel comfortable going into spaces during AAPI Heritage Month.
Okay.
A lot of times folks were just like, they felt they were constantly being questioned or looked at funny. People definitely have been told that they weren't Asian enough to be celebrating the Heritage Month either. And so, there's like Short Girl Appreciation Day. So I thought, well, why not just have a Mixed Asian Day? Let's just do that.
Yeah. I really didn't think I needed it until you brought it up a couple of years ago for the first time, because people on my show know I have sort of a hierarchical ethnic identity. I grew up very Black, and then what I call weekend Japanese, because that's kind of when I was at home with my bata. So like, and I could be Black in public. I couldn't be Japanese in public, or at least I couldn't be my bachan's granddaughter, because my mom was a teen mom and my dad was Black. So if we ran into people that she knew, we were like a friend's kids or a friend's grandchildren or something like that, because they were really worried about the whole being Black thing at that time. And so there was a lot of elements in my life, like I never got "you're not Black enough." I got "you're not Asian enough" a lot. And so it really wasn't until I started doing the show, and then I got involved in a couple of Asian organizations, that I started to develop like my Asian American identity too. And that's really because of this show that I've been able to access that. So when you mentioned Mixed Asian Day, I was like, I actually need that. I need to be validated a little bit. And that, so I was really glad. I would have loved to have been able to go, but I had just kind of gotten back to Mexico from like a trip that I took and stuff. So I was like, there's no way, but it was still fun. I still got to watch all the videos that people posted and stuff like that. So that was good.
It's been really great.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're part of it. Like, I'm just so excited you're going to be part of it. It just makes me so happy. It's been really awesome seeing this. It's like a movement, seeing this movement grow.
Yeah.
And seeing how impactful it's been to the community and to even parents of mixed kids, like knowing that they have a space for their children, that they have the support, that they now have vocabulary and words to use of information around mixedness that you and I didn't necessarily grow up with.
Right. Yeah. And I have 2 biracial parents, but I wasn't educated on being a mixed person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of us from earlier generations didn't get that, you know, life is going to be a little bit different for you, or people are going to ask you these questions or whatever. And I think now there are so many resources that are even focused on interracial parents of mixed children, that as long as they're open to that, and as long as they don't believe their children are going to be exactly like them, you know, that they can tap into those. So I think, and we got to see a version of that just a couple of weeks ago at the Free to Be Fest.
Yes, we did.
So it's really nice that those things are finally available. And mixed kids are coming out mixed way earlier in life than like we kind of got to be. Like, they got to exist in their whole mixedness a lot earlier, which I'm a little jealous of, but also really
Me too.
Glad.
Yes, I'm jealous, but I'm very happy for them.
Yeah.
I in a way, I hope that at some point, like, Mixed Asian Media as a website for content, as far as articles, mixedness, we may not have to exist any longer.
Right.
That's like my hope, that they'll be like, no, we're just going to have our day and celebrate, and we won't have to have these really conversations with celebrities or individuals about what's it like being the only person in this small town growing up this way. How do you embrace yourself? I'm hoping that at some point, not that will be obsolete, but that it won't be this like need.
Yeah.
As if that makes sense.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Because when I started,
like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah. Like, when I started the show, there wasn't any other mixed podcasts. There was the Facebook groups that we talked about before. The problematic mixed babies are the most beautiful baby Facebook group. And we weren't having these kind of conversations. Now there's so much more available. And my first year, most people were like, I've never spoken to another mixed person besides you. That's not happening anymore. And it's great. I mean, it's been 7 years, so it's great that I can now talk to people who didn't have to grow up as the only mixed person that they knew, even though there are probably still some folks out there.
Oh, there are. I mean, I was just in Kansas City, and I met a few mixed people there, and they were like, what? There's a day for mixed Asians? There's more than like 3 of us?
There's more than 3 of us? Yeah, there is actually.
I'm like,
we were just at an event that had tons of mixed Asians. The most mixed Asians I've ever been around my entire life.
Exactly. So I know. So I was like, okay, this is, I know I live in a bit of a bubble, being in New York City and Los Angeles and the Bay Area where my in-laws are. So I do know I do bubble in that sense. Yeah.
You have like the 3 most big Asian population places that you get to draw from. Yeah. I feel like the experience of being a mixed Asian is so unusual and so based off of what somebody thinks you are when they look at you. Like, if they're familiar with Chinese people, they're going to look at you and say, you're Chinese, right? And you'll go, no, that's not what I am. But it's like, oh, but I knew a Chinese guy once, you know?
Yes.
Or if they don't know Chinese people or any kind of Asian people, they'll look at you and go, are you white? You know, like, it'll be kind of like a question about. And I feel like for non-Asians, it's whatever Asian they've had access to is what you have to be, because there's no other Asians but the one that they know about. And now that we have these events, we can uplift people, make them feel comfortable in their own skin, and therefore now we don't really have to put up with the stupid shit. Like, they can throw it at us, but we're not going to be as like defenseless.
I don't really accommodate these type of questions anymore. And maybe not so kindly. I probably could be a little kinder.
No.
You know, but you know, when at an Asian event and a gentleman asks me if my feet are small because my mother is Asian, I won't necessarily be nice. And I'm also my mother's not the Asian.
Definitely don't need to be nice for something like that. I actually heard of a woman, but she was a Black woman, so that's not a mixed story, but I'm going to steal it for mixedness. Every time somebody said something ignorant to her that required like an education after, she would pull up her Cash App QR code and say, if you want to continue to talk further. And I think that is amazing. So that's like, if you're going to ask me what I am or where I'm from, Cash App, Venmo.
Yeah, Venmo me. Help support mixed Asian media. Thank you.
There you go. That will be our way of managing to get sponsors for all of these things.
Oh my gosh, seriously. And it's just wild also navigating sponsorship, having to really prove that there are so many of us and that this is something worthy to be given funding for.
Right.
It's like we're one, not a monolith, and two, such a diverse community. It's like, why isn't things being geared towards the mixed experience?
Yeah. The most recent census showed us that the mixed people are becoming the more growing population of people. So that means we have a lot of buying power. We have a lot of money to put into the market because there's more of us happening right now. So yeah, like you can make a commercial that incorporates us in some way, shape, or form, because like a tennis shoe is a tennis shoe, but I might like it better if I saw someone that kind of looked like me.
Absolutely.
You know what
absolutely.
Yeah. They don't always have to be Chads and Jennies or whatever. I don't know. I was trying to find white names.
Kens and Barbies. I don't know.
Kens and Barbies. There you go. That's a good one. So what are you looking most forward to for this particular, your third?
Wow. I'm really looking forward to meeting the mixed community in the Bay Area because I've heard there's so many.
There's so many. Yeah.
So many. So I'm really looking forward to meeting everyone. The welcoming and the experience I've had so far, just coming to the Japantown space, has been so lovely and so warm. So I'm just looking forward to meeting everyone and seeing all the people arrive. We do have some really cool panels. We have a yoga session brought to us by Equinox, and everyone that attends will get a free day pass to Equinox. So that's kind of cool.
Cool. Yeah.
It's a nice facility. So go enjoy, have a spa day. And then we will be having like a mental health panel with Yellow Chair Collective around mixed Asian identity. We're going to have an Asian adoptee panel as well, and your panel, and an mixed Asian authors panel as well, and lots of books to give out. We have giveaways, plus some fun swag bags, and I think it'll just be a really fun way for people to connect and share their stories and feel less lonely.
Yeah. I mean, at the heart of any of these mixed organizations that we're all collectively aware of, it's always about not feeling alone, because being mixed in our generation or the generations before us could be really isolating. Maybe one generation below us too, but now they're starting to be able to have conversations about this. So hopefully they're not living in isolation. But what I really realized at the Free to Be Fest, which is why I'm looking forward to Mixed Asian Day so much, is there was a moment where someone had asked for all the South Asian, like all the mixed South Asians, to take a photo together. And there was like 20 or so people in that photo. Most of them were Black and South Asian. And so like in that moment, I had never been around so many Blasians in my life, but when I saw how many of the mixed Asian, South Asian specifically, but there was a few of us little mixed Asians hanging around, I like started to weep a little bit, because I was like, I've never felt like we were the majority in any space. And in that particular space, although very geared towards mixed people in general, the Blasians were the big population at that.
That's event. So cool.
It was so cool. And I was like, I didn't know I needed that so bad.
That is so awesome. My goodness.
It was really cool. Yeah. It was
I can remember our first year of Mixed Asian Day, I had a couple of people come up to me and they were crying. They were like, this is my first time I've ever been in a community space like this. And I can just be me. No one's asking me, like, I hate to say stupid questions, but no one's asking me stupid questions. Right. And I'm just here existing, and everyone understands where I'm coming from. And they were crying. And then I started crying, and we were all crying.
Yeah, it is. It's very emotional. And I mean, like I said, I've been doing this for 7 years, and I'm still overwhelmed sometimes by like how amazing it is when we get to spend time together, because I just didn't grow up like that. I didn't grow up with
Yeah.
mixed Asians. I grew up with
Same.
mixed Black folks, but I didn't grow up with mixed Asians. And now that there's so many around me, I'm just like, this must be what white people feel like. Like that's what
Right?
I said it so many times that day. I was like, this must be what it's like. Like when you're everybody, you look around, you're like, oh, we might be something similar. It's such a good thing. So with Mixed Asian Day, being able to kind of touch that side, I mean, Free to Be Fest accidentally touched that side, but it was going to be mixed in general. Mixed Asian Day is very specific to mixed Asianness, and so I'm looking forward to feeling that feeling again, because
Yay.
the Asian acceptance has been the tough struggle. Like that's been my identity crisis part of mixedness, you know?
I think both sides, for me, to be honest. I feel like because I'm fourth generation Japanese American, so there's not that much Japanese-ness
Yeah.
family anymore. No one speaks the language, and no one knows where we came from, really.
Yeah.
And all of our elders have passed, so
Yeah.
we've lost touch of that side. And then as far as being, Ashkenazi Jewish, I go into some of these spaces with all these white Jewish people, and they're like, why the hell are you here?
Yeah.
So it's like twofold for me, and it's been interesting. It's been interesting
to get it on both sides like that. I mean, for me, the Black side the Black side was always very accepting of me being mixed, but I'm not going to walk into a British pub and someone's going to be like, oh yeah, you're definitely British.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen. I actually went to England once with one of my cousins, and he's a completely just white dude or whatever, and he was like 12 years older than me, and so the person at the counter was like, what's happening here? Like just boldly asking like what was the nature of that relationship.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, we're cousins, and they're like, no. And then he was like, yeah, we're cousins. And she kept pushing, and I remember going,
Ew.
Okay, let me break it down for you. My nan, she's British. His nan, they're sisters. They're also related. That's how we're cousins. I was like, the only reason why we look different is because my nan fucked a Black dude. That's why I look like this.
I don't understand what people don't understand. It's wild. Yeah, and then going into Asian spaces for myself, I mean, I've really had to, I feel like, fight to prove that I belonged in these spaces, and I still sometimes get you're not Asian, are you? And I'm like, yes, I am. I'm half Japanese. And I get it from them even being like, oh, you don't look Japanese. And oh my God, the monoracial people.
Yeah.
Man.
It's with Japanese in particular, I think it is a challenge. I mean, obviously it's our challenge because we're Japanese, but I don't hear from other mixed Asians the same thing quite that I hear, because Japanese assimilate wherever they go anyway. That's why you've lost, after 4 generations, the Japanese-ness, because they assimilated. And because of when they came here, assimilation meant survival.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they had to.
Yeah. And in my case, my family, my bachan got here in the late 50s. And so there was assimilation, absolutely. None of us speak fluent Japanese, but we all speak a little. And we had access to food and things like that. But, I mean, no, I'm not walking in. I went to Japan last year, and every time I spoke Japanese, someone complimented me, and then I would say the traditional thing you're supposed to say, like, no, I don't speak Japanese that good, because you have to be self-deprecating. And then they would look at me like, why do I know how to behave like that? Like, that's a Japanese behavior. And then, you tell them you got a Japanese grandma, and they're like, that's cute. That you like, basically, it's cute that you think you're Japanese. And I've had that feeling from Japanese my entire life.
I went to Japan last year for the first time, and friends kept asking me, what was it like going back to like the mother country?
Yeah, the mother country.
I was like, well, I was such a tourist.
Yeah.
No one thought I was Japanese.
Yeah.
Like the store clerks would see the Iwata on my credit card, and they would be so confused about this. They'd be like, Iwata? And I was like,
did you marry a Japanese person? Or?
And they're like, no. I'm like, no, my dad, Japanese. And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay.
That's fine. Yeah, I actually only had one interaction that was super positive, but that was because he was also a mixed Japanese. He just grew up in Japan. And so he was like, "Oh, you're like me, but opposite." And I was like, "Yeah, I grew up on the American side." And, so, and he's like, "But you're doing okay." I'm like, "Thanks." I was like, I've never felt less Japanese in my life than when I was in Japan. Yeah. But at least through podcasting, I've gotten to meet people like you and join a couple Asian American associations that have allowed me to like touch an Asian American identity. I didn't realize I had to adapt to an Asian American identity. I was thinking I was Japanese, but not really.
It's interesting. There's even a difference I have found in especially navigating these various different Asian orgs. Is there's the first generation folks or the immigrant folks, and then there's like me, the family's been here for so long. So there's definitely also a difference in that. Yeah. And I don't know quite have the words to describe it.
But it's like it dilutes every time. Like, you know, my grandmother being Issei, my mom is Nisei, I'm Sansei, you're Yonsei. Yeah. That's the generations that we are in. And like, I mean, my grandmother relinquishes her Japanese identity by leaving Japan. That is not something I wrap my head around well. Like, I didn't get it until I went back to Japan. I always fought that idea. But now I get it because I'm like, oh yeah, no. Yeah. It's a different ball game. To be a Japanese is different than being a Japanese American.
It very much is.
Yeah. And they're not Asian there. They're Japanese. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're Asian over here, but in Asia, they're not Asian. They're Japanese. No. They're Chinese. They're Korean. They're
exactly
whatever the places that they come from. Which is why we need to use this opportunity to unite us, because that is a very not united region. Yeah. So let's all band together here in the States and just be all mixed Asians together. Do you want to tell everybody how they can access information about Mixed Asian Day?
Sure. You can go onto our website at mixedasianmedia.com/Mixed Asian Day. And all the information will be there. It is free to RSVP. I do ask that everyone does RSVP to the panels you want to attend, because it's not that space is limited, but we do have to adhere to a fire code. And I don't want to get in trouble. So please RSVP. And you don't have to just pick one panel. You can pick multiple, and I encourage you to do so. And there's RSVP to the marketplace, and do that. It'll be fun. Awesome. It's easy.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming back and talking about Mixed Asian Day.
Pleasure.
Thank you for inviting me to participate this year. I'm really excited. And I think that's all. So for everybody out there, go to Mixed Asian Day if you're in the area, and don't forget to be your mixed ass selves.
Yay.
Militantly Mixed is a Main Hustle Media podcast, produced and hosted by me, Charmaine Fury. Music is by David Bogan, The One. You can follow us on social media on Instagram, Blue Sky, and YouTube at Militantly Mixed. If you'd like to become a sponsor of Militantly Mixed or any Main Hustle Media shows, please go to patreon.com/Charmaine Fury for a monthly sponsorship, or to paypal.me/militantly mixed for a one-time only donation. And if you like what you hear on Militantly Mixed, please subscribe, rate, and review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And don't forget to be your mixed ass selves. Peace, y'all. Main Hustle Media. Turn your side hustle into your main hustle.